Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. We turn our attention to one of those events that does not get a lot of mainstream coverage in this part of the world, the triathlon. A group of 7 professionals through the entity TriLife876 have joined forces to bring the first ever triathlon series to the sunshine city of Portmore in Jamaica. The series is historic in that competitors are battling virtually given the difficulties caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. This year's event began on July 10 and climaxes on July 26. Joining us via Zoom to talk about the event is a director of TriLife876, Dane Wright. Welcome to the SportsMax Zone.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Dane, can you talk to us about this event? Of course, during the COVID-19 pandemic, how is it working? How are participants entering?
All right, so firstly, this is our second virtual event. We had one in May with the sole intention of raising funds for leveling the educational playing field in Jamaica. So with the pandemic, what has happened is that we're unable to keep events as we all know, we're unable to get the various licensing and entertainment certificates to host the event. And even if we did, we're not sure we'd actually be able to attract anyone. So as such, we've actually moved virtually. So the intention with this, as with the first, is to help in the education sector in whatever way we can. So how this started is after our event was postponed as a result of COVID, we decided that one of the easiest ways to keep our participants interested and active is by hosting a virtual event. And an added incentive to it is actually the whole aspect of giving back to charity. And as such, we realized that there were upwards of 30,000 Jamaican students who were unable to access the educational portal because they never had access to laptops, tablets, or even personal computers. So we decided that we're going to host this event and donate our proceeds towards that function or that charity.
Are you targeting a particular age group for this event?
No. The plus about triathlon is that it's open to all age groups. As long as you're physically well and able, you can join. So if you're 9 to 90 and you're physically able, then you can actually sign up.
How do you sign up? Tell us how you sign up and the cost to sign up.
All right. So you can actually log on to our social media platforms to get the registration details. It's TriLife876, Instagram, and Facebook. And the cost of entering is 10 US individual, 12 US for a relay team. So that's 1,200 Jamaican dollars and 1,000 Jamaican dollars and 1,200 Jamaican dollars for the individual and the relay. So what we have is that we have 3 series or 3 events. We have an aquathlon, duathlon, and a triathlon. So the duathlon, that's run, ride, run. Triathlon, as it says, it's 3 events. So that's swim, run, ride, and the aquathlon, that's swim, run. So it's broken down in a 750-meter swim, 20K ride, 5K run. And then we actually have the super sprints, which is half of those distances. And it's along the same way in the duathlon and the aquathlon. So the duathlon would be the 2.5K run, 20K ride, and a 5K run. And for the super sprint with the duathlon, will be half of that. The aquathlon is a 750 swim, 5K run, and half of that for the super sprint. And as I said before, it's open to everyone and anybody that's actually interested. And it's a nice way to actually stay fit while giving back to your community.
Definitely. Dane, the event started on July 10. Of course, it ends on July 26. How has the response been so far?
We are pleased with the response thus far. We've seen interest as far from the United States, Trinidad, from here, Jamaica also, Canada as well. So there are persons who are actually showing interest. We're getting questions about the event. How do they go ahead, sign up? What do they get once they're finished? So as it is, we have a fitness certificate. We have a finisher certificate, and we have a lovely medals for finishers. and the additional surprises that we'll actually throw in our finishers package.
Well, Dane, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck, and I hope more people continue to participate because, of course, the proceeds go to some positive aspects. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. But before I run, I'd like to say a special thank you to our sponsors, Design Privacy and Jamaica Moves. So thank you for having me again.
Thank you again. So, of course, Director of TriLife876, Dane Wright. And if you haven't signed up just yet and you have nothing to do with your time, you just want to get involved, stay fit, of course, you can join. On that note, let's take a short break.